evaluate a function at 2 if I don't give you the function, right? So first we have to determine the function. So the function p prime of x is f prime of x multiplied by g of x plus f of x times g prime of x. Therefore, now I know that if I'm asked to find p prime of 2, p prime of 2 will be f prime of 2 times g of 2 plus f of 2 times g prime of 2. So let's start by looking at the graph and determining f of 2 and g of 2. I'm going to share. Okay, so g of 2. Can anyone give us g of 2? And I will put it in. G of 2 is? Very good. F of 2, can anyone give us f of 2? If you have questions about g of 2 being 2, please tell me. How much is g? So g of 2 is 2. How much is f of 2?
3.
Very good. So now our next step is to find f prime of 2. So here is 2. Here's the point where x is 2 on the graph of f. What does f prime of 2 mean? What am I asked to find when I'm asked to find f prime of 2?
Slope.
The slope of the tangent line at that point. Excellent. How much is it?
It's 0.
Very good. So f prime of 2 is 0. Awesome. Now we have to find g prime of 2. So here's the point. What am I asked to find when I'm asked to find g prime of 2? The same thing. I'm asked to find the slope of the tangent line to the graph of g at that point. So remember how we do this. This is a straight line. It's a linear function. I will try to find a triangle. I'm going to use a triangle that goes through corners of the grid so I can easily read rise, 2, run, 4. So the slope everywhere on this function, especially when x is 2, is rise of 2, run of 4. 2 over 4 is 1/2. Okay, back. So this is 1/2. So g of 2 was 2, f of 2 was 3, f prime of 2 was 0, g prime of 2 is 1/2. This is 0. 3 times 1/2. The answer is 3 over 2. Any questions on this? Any questions? Okay, I would like you to choose I saw, are you okay? Is everyone with me? Were you able to find everything? Do you need my help?
I'm still looking for it, but I'll probably figure it out eventually.
But were you able to see it, Mark?
I can see what you're doing. It's just I don't have any of that stuff in my book.
Can you explain the prime concept?
Oh, I couldn't see what you mean. Like, it just says Monica Leaders has started screen sharing, and that's all. So I know I was left out, but I'm looking for the equation now to get the graph.
But was anyone else in the same situation? You were not able to see what I was showing?
I could see it.
I could see it.
I could see it too.
So how many of you could not see the book and what I shared? I was just Gia?
I cannot see it. It might be my Wi-Fi or something, but it does update and it says like your screen sharing. It just doesn't show me what your screen.
But can you see now?
Nope. It just says you had started screen sharing.
You might need to jump out of the stream and then back into the stream, and that might fix it.
Yeah, can you do that, Gia, too? I'll wait for you to come back.
Mhm.
Who asked about the prime that I need to answer? There was a question about the prime. Somebody asked,
Yeah,
but
I did. Kush.
Kush. So what was the question again? Sorry.
How did you get like f of 2 is 0? F prime of 2 is 0.
Because at this point the tangent is horizontal.
Okay.
And f prime of 2 is 0 because f prime gives the rate of change at that point. And since the tangent is horizontal, the slope of the tangent of a line that is horizontal is 0.
So I'm back. I can actually see what you're doing now. I had to jump back in.
Okay, can you see now, Mark?
I can see what you're doing. It's just my textbook is completely different.
Maybe you don't have this 9th edition. Maybe you clicked on something else.
It's whatever was I don't know, whatever was on WebAssist at the time.
So it's right here. So you go to ebook. Did you click on the?
I'm definitely looking at the ebook.
Okay, well we'll have to figure it out. Okay, so do we have other questions here? Do I have to show any of this again? Is that a yes or a no?
No, I think that's okay.
Okay, so I'm back then. Moving on. Good. So now I would like to look at a problem. Oh, no, actually I don't want to be back. I want to be there. I forgot what I was doing. My apologies, my apologies. You'll see when you get to my age. So I want to look at a problem. Where are my problems? Yes, I wanted to choose something from 54. Anything you want from 54. Here is it, right here. If f is a differentiable function, find an expression for the derivative of each of the following functions. So please choose A, B, C, or D. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'll choose.
B.
B as in boy. Okay, very good. I'll stop sharing. So it was x squared over f of x, correct? So we have f of x over x squared. And this is a function that is, let's say, uppercase f of x. So we are asked to find f prime of x. Well, I see it's a quotient. So then I have to use the quotient rule. The easiest thing is to square the denominator and get it over with. The function at the top is f prime of x multiplied by the denominator, the second function, minus the numerator, which is f of x, multiplied by the denominator prime, which is 2x. Yes, because this is one term, you can separate it if you want to in order to simplify, or just factor out x, because that's the common factor, divided by x to the fourth, and just eliminate one factor of x. So this one would be x f prime of x, and this one would be minus 2 f of x, because I took an x out. So final simplified form, x f prime of x minus 2 f of x, everything divided by x to the third. We are told that the function is differentiable, and just find the derivative. We're not asked to do anything else. We don't have the function. That's all we were asked to do. Any questions? Okay, I have one more before we continue. So I'd like to look at something like this. We are given f of 2 equals 10, f prime of x equals x squared times f of x. For all x, we're asked to find the second derivative at 2. So I cannot find the second derivative evaluated at 2 if I don't find the second derivative. I have to find the second derivative first. Can anyone tell us how to start to find the second derivative for this function?
Would it be 2x times f of x
Excellent. Plus
x squared plus f prime of x, or times f prime of x.
excellent. Good. So this is the second derivative. Now I can plug in 2 everywhere. So the second derivative of 2 will be 2 times f of 2 plus 2 squared times f prime of 2. Excellent. I wasn't saying excellent to myself. I was saying excellent to you. Okay, so then this will be 4 times f of 2. But how much is f of 2?
10.
Good. Plus, this is another 4, but what is f prime of 2? You can say, I don't know, but I have it right here. So I can determine f prime of 2 as 2 squared times f of 2. So
10.
it's 4 times 10, which is 40. Right? So this is 10, and this is 4. 4 times 10 is 40. So now I have 40 plus 160, so this is 200. That's how we address something like that. Questions, please. How do we feel about the product rule, quotient rule, any of this so far?
Pretty good.
I feel good about the product rule.
Okay. Yes?
I had one more question. If we were to do f prime of 3, or sorry, not f, how would you say the second prime, I think, or the third prime?
Second derivative.
The second
or
derivative.
Double prime. So this is either double prime or second derivative or d2f over dx2. Same thing. d2f over dx2. The second derivative of f with respect to x. Or the f double prime.
Okay, so my question is, if we can do the third derivative of f of x,
yes, we can. We can.
Would it involve using the second derivative in the equation?
Yes, we can write it if you want. It's a very good exercise. So let's do this. I'm going to copy it here because I don't have enough room. So the second derivative of 2x f of x and plus x squared f prime of x. Very good. Very good exercise. It's great. So if we want the third derivative of x, 2, always keep the constant outside. Let it wait. First function prime is 1 times the second one plus the first function times the second one prime, and then later on I'll distribute 2. And now plus, I applied the product rule twice, plus the first function prime, 2x, times the first one, times the second function, I meant to say, plus x squared times the second function prime. So then we have 2 f of x plus 2x f prime of x, and I have another 2x f prime of x. I can change this into 4 because I'm lazy, and plus x squared f double prime of x. Was a very good practice. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Is this what you had in mind?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions? derivatives of trig functions. So we have 6 trig functions: sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant. So I always ask my students if they want to see any of the proofs. I'm not going to ask you to prove them. But if you want to see any of these proofs, I can show you step by step. It's a long proof to use the limit. So sine prime will be the limit as h approaches 0. Of course, from sine x plus h minus sine x divided by h. So this is a long proof. It will take me 6-7 minutes. If you want to see this proof, we can. If not, I will give you the result up front, what sine prime is, what cosine prime is, and we will determine these ones with, actually, we can tangent and cotangent, but we can not secant and cosecant. Well, actually, we don't have to use the power rule. We can use the quotient rule. Yes, we will determine the other 4. So do I give you the result directly? What sine prime is equal to?
Please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. So again, this will be carved in stone. So sine prime equals cosine x. Again, we can go through the steps as I said. It will take some time though. And cosine x prime is the opposite of sine x. So this to remember.